Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Hunter x Hunter episode 105. Now, you might notice a change in my voice. It's because I have a sore throat, and because of that, I don't really feel like talking for 20 minutes. So I'm going to try and make this short. I'm going to try. Um, so I'm just going to get into things. The episode starts off with this introspection. Meruem's kind of just thinking about stuff, and the conclusion he comes to is that he just doesn't really understand his own mind, and it's frustrating to him. But he ends up ending the break period, going back to go play Gungi with the girl, and these scenes were just really interesting. The scenes involving Meruem and the girl. I don't really know how else to describe them. They were just interesting to see. Um, First, Meruem tries to disrupt the girl's rhythm by coming up with this wager. If she wins the next game, then he'll grant her any wish. But if she loses, he'll cut her arm off. And the reason why he thinks it'll disrupt her rhythm is because it's combining fear and desire. But then she comes out and says that usually when she plays Gungi, she bets her life. So losing an arm isn't exactly, that's she asks if she can just bet what she normally bets, which is her life. And Miriam was thinking about this, and it doesn't make any sense. He's thinking, why would you choose to lose your life instead of just losing an arm? And she actually explains. She says that Googie players they don't really get a lot of money. They don't get any meaningful reward at all unless they become national representatives. I believe at like the World Championships. So pretty much you have to win and 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 win. And she mentions this saying that Gungi players have, and it was after losing once, a Gungi master becomes a normal person. So she she believes that as well. Actually, she's a little bit more extreme. She believes that once she loses, since she can't do anything else besides play Gungi, she believes that she will become trash and garbage if she loses. Therefore, she made the decision that she would kill herself if she ever lost a match. And after she reveals this fact about herself, Miriam realizes that his resolve isn't nearly as strong as hers is. So he takes the bed off the table and he takes his arm off of his body. He just kind of goes in there and just rips his arm off. And when I believe he said that it was an apology for underestimating her or something along those lines. But after he ripped his arm off, Xiao Pu started freaking out because his only desire is to protect Miriam and to make sure he's safe. So if Miriam's harming himself, that's obviously not a good thing. So he goes over, he rips his sleeve off, wraps his shoulder up to try and stop the bleeding, and he's saying, we should do this, we should do that, and Miriam just gets annoyed with him, and he just slaps him with his tail, and he goes flying into the wall like some Naruto type of situation, and on the Tenchi Bridge when he slaps Sakura across the face with his tail, or not the face, but you get the point. Miriam hit Xiaopu through the air with his tail. And Xiaopu says, okay, oh, King, let Pito come in and heal your wounds, heal your arm, and you can continue to play while she does it. That's the best compromise I can offer, and if you don't like that, then you are free to kill me. And he says, alright, I'll kill you. Come a little closer so I can do it. I'll do it quickly. And Child Poofy ends up accepting this. He starts to go closer, and while he walks closer, Miriam tells the girl, it's your move, make your move. And this is my favorite part of the episode, actually. She stands up to Miriam whenever people stand up to Meruem, they die. But this was an interesting situation. She ends up telling him that she's not going to make her move until his arm is healed. So now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Meruem is an extremely prideful, well, not really man. He's an ant. Okay, so he's an extremely prideful creature, and he does not want to take back what he said to Xiao Poof and let him live. But at the same time, he can't kill the girl because she tells him, if you're going to kill me, then do it through Gungi. Beat me, and then you're free to take my life. But killing her now, it's something he can't do, because killing her now would be like admitting that he couldn't beat her in Gungi. So he either has to admit his own shortcomings and admit that he is just not as good as her, or he has to let Xiao Poof go, and he chooses the lesser of two evils, and he lets Xiao Poof live. But after this scene, we take a short break from them. We go to Knove and Meruem, and they see that the puppets around the palace have disappeared completely. So Knove decides that he's going to go ahead with the plan. He's going to create a portal near the palace. Before they end up separating them, Leola sees them with the Flutter's dragonflies, and Knove, he ends up jumping in the portal to leave and do his thing. And since Meruem is the only one left, Leo decides that he's going to go with those two Chimera ants from before, take out Meruem. But after that, we go back to Meruem and the girl, Xiao Poof, and now Pito's there as well, and we learn that her nen ability is called Dr. Blythe. And apparently, in order to heal Meruem's arm, it's like recreate the flesh and everything, it's going to take 2 to 3 hours. And while she's healing his arm, while she's using her ability, she can't use her puppets and she can't use N, because Dr. Blythe just takes that amount of Nen, which is why the puppets disappeared when Knove and Meruem were talking. So Xiao Poof decides he's going to take over the role using N. He says that it's an important task. He can't trust anyone else. I found that line interesting because there is another royal guard named Mount Tuyubi. He's not very important, and apparently he's not very skilled with Nen either, at least N. Togashi, I guess he just does not want to develop this guy at all. He's a member of the Royal Guard. He's probably super OP, but right now he's literally done nothing. He barely shows up. He was in this episode for like 3 seconds when Meruem came back from his break in the beginning. But other than that, I mean, the guy's just not important at all. He doesn't do anything. This was a good opportunity to let him do something, but apparently he's not good enough. So Xiao Poof had to take over and do it instead. But hey, after this, we go away from them for the rest of the episode. We go and we focus mainly on Knove. He's going to go prepare the portals, and we pretty much just learn exactly how he's going to be doing, like how he's going to be setting up all the portals. He's going to set up three exits. One really close to the center of the palace, one farther away, and then one in between the two of them. Then he's going to create a set of entrances, in groups of 3. And he's going to have groups of 3 entrances all around the palace. And whenever they decide to enter, they'll be able to enter from whichever one is most convenient, because they're all going to be connected to those 3 exits in the palace. So he's discussing this plan, and he's just getting closer and closer to the palace. I thought the scene was kind of dragged out. I don't think he doesn't know this, but we know that Pito can't use her Nen for another couple of hours. So, I don't think it was necessary to show as much of this as they did. Like, after we got the information, I don't think we need to focus for like another 2 minutes or however long it was with Knove just getting closer and closer and closer to the palace. I don't think that was necessary, but it's not really that big of a deal or anything. Um, After that, we learn about this guy Bezef. He's the third and final human being who's actually living in the palace, not who isn't intended to be eaten as food. Him, Diego himself, and then the Komugi girl. But apparently he has this job where he can't be replaced, so they let him stay. We also learned that there are 11 Chimera ants in total in the palace. Meruem, Pito, Shawapoof, Montatuyupi, Chitu, Hearing, a few soldier ants, and maybe a few more captains, I believe it was. But again, this is something that Knove doesn't know, so he's trying to like sneak around the borders of the palace when there's really literally no one there, because the royal guard wouldn't trust a task like that to like the captains and the soldier ants. They would only give them tasks that they actually expect them to fail. So he's again not really wasting his time, but wasting our time, I guess. But again, it's not that big of a deal though. The rest of the episode is focused on Bezef, and he gets this email about available bodies, like a list of available bodies. And at first, when I first heard the word bodies, I thought corpses, kind of like how Pain used them in Pain's Invasion. Well, not how he used them before Pain's Invasion, back during the Itachi Pursuit arc when he fought Jiraiya, and we saw like little flashbacks of the two guys carrying bodies to the tower. Now at first that was the first thing that come to mind. Then I thought about, he had just mentioned how he wanted a few more people working there as secretaries to take his work, to lower his own workload. But then I saw that all the pictures were girls, and he had this dirty look on his face, so now I'm assuming he wants to use them for other means. But it turns out that one of the girls he picked was actually Palm. So she's going to actually try and infiltrate the palace that way. Which Knove doesn't know this. Okay, he just does not know a lot of stuff right now. But Palm's going to try to infiltrate the palace, and this was my second favorite part of the episode, seeing Palm get reintroduced, because we knew she was going to be relevant just by the ending. Because in the ending, there are a few spoilers, like Meruem on Knuckles' back, the Meruem in general, along with Icalgo. Just the fact that they had joined up with Kahlua and the good guys. But another thing that was in the ending is Palm. She was in the ending too. So in that last frame you see in the ending with that picture, and it starts zooming out and stuff like that. I would do the do part, but my third source, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean. It's the last part of the ending. She's in there too, so we knew she was going to be relevant at some point or another, but she's finally starting to be relevant. She's back in the story, so that's interesting to see. And in the preview, we see Knove. He actually manages to get inside the palace. It looked like he had been beaten up a little bit though. We actually see him, well, not really fight the soldier, but take one out. But yeah, that's really it for the episode. I give this one a 7 out of 10 because Palm's back, and Meruem was put in this position that he's never been in before, where he can't get his way. He was stuck, like I said before, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that was just an interesting situation to see. Because usually Meruem, he always gets what he wants, and when he doesn't, he kills the person, and then he gets what he wants. So it was just a really interesting situation to see. But I'll give it a 7 out of 10, mainly for those reasons. Not too much going on in this episode, but yeah, like I said, it's pretty much those two reasons. It was a cool episode, mainly because of those two things. So yeah, I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.